I don't know why she put those on.
I had to.
I was like, what are you doing? And just wordlessly putting on goggles.
Because the reason. I can't see very well with them.
Not even on straight.
Are they not?
No. They're like not reflecting where your eyes. It just looks weird. You look weird.
Look cool, you mean?
No, you don't. You look weird. So
anyway,
we watched a movie that has the same name as a famous movie, and my joke was going to be, let's do the first minute of the vlog as if it was that other movie. Because everyone will be like, oh, they watched that popular movie that everybody loves. The patron will be like, hey, no, that's not what I wanted. But I don't feel like it now.
Yeah, this hurt her so much.
It didn't hurt me, it was annoying.
She doesn't want to do that anymore. And we watched.
She made it sound like it was going to be like people driving cars and wielding machetes,
no.
Grindhouse or something.
Be fair. I said I had seen Russ Meyers films I'd seen previously were basically like Bitch Slut, were large-titted women doing action scenes driving around, usually in a desert. You know, the Tura Satana ones. And this completely blindsided me because
there was full frontal, like close-up full frontal in the first shot.
Yeah, it was. Well, not quite close up. It was far away, but still.
Right.
This was not what I was expecting. I mean,
it didn't really had a plot, but it didn't. And there was a Shyamalan-esque twist at the end. We'll let you know what that is at the end of the vlog, but
although I have to say, did not like this film. I'm gonna put it on the review pile because this will make an amazing review.
It will, but like the thing is, I felt like, oh, it's wild and crazy. Oh, look, but technically it's just pornography. It's like pornography from the 70s when all you had to do was have feathered hair, and like people didn't shave down there. So it was like basically like oh, get a load of that wacky plot in that porno that I watched. Well, that's.
It's like a bunch of 5-minute pornos jammed together somehow with
and
this linking device of this woman using lots of ostentatious language.
Yeah, she's like, I am your Greek chorus, but she kind of acts like Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream, but like worse. And so the begins, I guess the framing device is tenuously that someone has murdered SnM Hitler.
Yeah, because the film starts with Hitler being whipped and then getting fucked by this guy and then sucking this guy off and paying for it.
There were various like naked women who were also really horrible ethnic stereotypes,
and then
which are never again seen in the rest of the film.
And then this random person kills Hitler. You know, does what Danger 5 could not, and they kill him by throwing a fish into his bath.
And like they try to make it like it's a piranha fish, but it's not. It's an Oscar fish. Oscar fish eat by they go and like they suck up the goldfish. I know this because my homeroom teacher in 8th grade, I had him for like the first block, and it was physics, and he had 3 piranha and an Oscar fish, and so he would feed the fish, like he would feed the tank of goldfish, and then he would feed a goldfish each to the piranha, and then a goldfish to the Oscar fish, and this is why I learned nothing in physics in 8th grade, because I was watching like Fish Animal Kingdom. To tell you what, when you're learning about the lever, the pulley, the wheel, and the inclined plane, and then there's like, you know, piranha holocaust going on, like right here, like right next to your face, you're just kind of like, oh. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the second castration that you've seen in a bathtub.
Yes. The other one was Nazi related too, because it was a Black Gestapo.
But it was a really great bathroom. Like, it was a really awesome one.
This film, it starts off with SnM Hitler being murdered by a fucking fish. And then it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Because you got this, like, woman who's a secret police woman who's not a policewoman, who is a policewoman, who gets raped and then starts having sex with the cop.
And you think, like, the cop is a scumbag rapist, which he is, but then he also is kind of heroic. And
then this gigantic inflated motherfucker
who's like a Nordic logger.
He starts raping this woman, and he does it for like half an hour, and everyone else in the place.
There's like actual sex breaks where the movie's like, all right, that's enough plot. Like now, like several scenes, and people are like completely buck naked. I don't know what they're storing their clothes in the wilderness, and it looks like they're in Northern California. And I tell you what, like this is such a good way to get every kind of infection ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's many scenes of this one woman, like, as she narrates, like, literally, like, humping a log that she's, like, this big, huge fallen tree. And I'm like, oh, you're going to get a woodlouse go right up there.
Yeah. And
that's going to be embarrassing. And the gynecologist isn't it? How did you get a woodlouse, a.k.a. a potato bug, or a roly-poly, up there? Oh, well, you know, humping trees like I like to do.
This giant logger is like raping this woman, and then everyone else who's in the bar, because this is in public, are all sort of like, yeah, they're all like, you know, supporting this, including Russ Meyer himself making a cameo. And then, but then the police officer arrives, and they all run away. And then the police officer tries to defeat the guy. He's like punching him, he won't stop, and then finally buries a fire axe in the guy's back, and then he pulls the sorry, no. This woman then tries to rip it, get him off the woman,
and then she gets. Then he's raping two of them at the same time, which I don't understand unless he has like two dicks.
She ends up on top of the other woman. He starts raping them both, like somehow raping the bottom one through her, and then the cop,
Two Dick Daryl. That's what they call him.
After the axing,
camp.
the cop gets the woman away, and then the guy comes back to life and rips the axe of his own back and buries it in the cop's chest and runs off with him, and then into the woods where he's going to rape them again, but then the cop arrives with a fucking chainsaw, and I'm like, is this the world's weirdest parody of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Did the cop die at the end?
I don't know. They stabbed the guy with the chainsaw, and they both fell off this fucking mountain, and they're probably both dead.
And then it turns out that the woman who's married to the guy that Hitler was sucking off is actually Eva Braun's daughter, and she was also having a relationship with Hitler, but also with her husband, and then she...
Who's a neo-Nazi, but you only discover that later on.
Yeah, like right at the end, and then she...
And he looks just like a modern-day hipster.
He really does, though. He's very alt-right.
Yeah, he looks like a member of the... Even before we found out he was a neo-Nazi or evil at all, I thought he looked really, really like he looked very modern in his visual style, and then...
When was this? It was 1971, right?
1970-something.
Okay.
And then when you discover he's a neo-Nazi, he's just like, oh, this makes even more sense. He would chant around with a tiki torch, you know, chanting blood and soil and shit like that.
This is to be old now. This would be one of those guys with a beer gut and a beard.
Yeah, probably.
But, like, and then they turned lesbian, and they took, like, everyone in this town is bisexual all day, all the time.
And they have giant dicks, you know, the man and woman have giant...
like, forever. There's no children in this town, though. Maybe they've all been neutered or something.
All the giant dicks, you know, on men and women are all fake.
Yeah.
You know, some are obviously deliberately more fake than others, but...
There's a lot of having sex in, like, public, like not public, but, like, these ponds and streams up in the mountain. And you know that amoeba that's in the south, that if it goes up your nose, like, if you dive into, like, you know, wild water, it can go up your nose, and basically there's nothing, medical science can do nothing for you. It just basically liquefies your brain and you die very slowly and horrifically. Imagine if that went up you, boy or girl.
There's not much brains down there, though.
No, but it would cause problems. Amoebic infection. Okay, I tell you what, like, I've never asked a gynecologist this, but I bet amoebic infection up yonder is not something they'd be really excited to deal with. Same thing with the urologist. If a guy comes like, I think we had an amoebic infection up yonder, they'd be like, whoa, buddy. Why don't you go to the ER? We don't deal with that here.
The very start of this, with Hitler and sort of the SnM stuff, at the start it reminded me of Catholic Schoolgirls in Trouble from Kentucky Fried Movie. But then later on, I worked out it was basically like a porno version of Blood-Sucking Freaks. And then it got silly.
Yeah. Like, it was just, like, I was really concerned. I'm like, how long does this vlog has to be? Because I don't know how much more I can say past my initial few points.
Yeah, like, everything's so samey.
No really... You can't be like, oh, well, that one bit of sex was quite unrealistic, I thought. But then, like, and they had the same Foley artist that I feel like Insane Clown Posse used for their movies, because there's crazy sound effects, and you're like... And then there's a lot of big band music and jazz and, like, Dixieland jazz. Maybe because it was public domain, I don't know, it just...
But the way it's constructed, I got the feeling this makes a spectacular review, because... It seems to have the right mix of mad shit happening, but repetitiveness, so I don't have to go into too much detail. So I think it'll come out as a really strong split. But I'm in no rush to watch it again. But it was up. But what was the amazing fact that I discovered?
So she was, oh my god. And I looked up from the enthralling game of magnetic balls I was playing on my phone and I said, what? She found out who wrote it. You're never gonna guess. Like literally, you never will. No, it's not Kyle.
Some of you will. If you
Brad would probably know.
Some of you know. If you're interested in, if you know the trivia about who wrote for Russ Meyers, then you can put this together. You're the American. You explain.
It was Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
You know that like old critic, like things and stuff.
The guy who hated North to a severe extent.
Well, I saw North. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, but
it didn't. It didn't deserve that ire that he gave it. I was like, oh, that's alright.
He wrote this.
It was horrible. And like this one character has a distinctive tattoo that's only there for a pun at the end.
Chekhov's tattoo.
I said that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And like this is the first time you see it. It's like, well, she's fucking the cop, and you like it's a close up of it. Like, but the film quality is degraded so much it looks like it's like flashing from like saturation to color, or desaturation to color, and back and forth. I'm just like, really? And then at the end, like it turns out Hitler's still alive in Bavaria. So who is that guy? But then also she's a cop. But is she?
I missed the Tourist Satana films. That one was just like bitch slap.
Like, I mean, here's the thing. It's like you can't really say, oh, well, what a crazy movie that is, because porn's always crazy. I mean, that's one of the ones that we did a crossover of, Sugar High Glitter City. Because I thought, that's a stupid plot. It's a town where sugar's outlawed. So there's a sugar black market, but apparently only lesbians care about this for some reason. Because I was hanging out with a friend of mine, we were going to go clubbing, and he's like, well, just come over to my place and then I'll drive. And I was like, alright. And him and some other folks were there, and he's like, we're watching this lesbian porno, have a seat. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And it was Sugar High Glitter City. And then we were like, oh, okay. Well, that was weird.
She suggested it to me, and I spent a lot of money on that. That's probably the review. The movie.
But you were supporting independent lesbian cinema.
Yeah. So, that, out of my review films, that's one that's cost me the most.
Yes, she can.
Second is
and she did.
The second one is the same patron who requested this other one, though luckily he said, well, actually, this is going to cut. I have no idea what you sound like.
Well, he has a Belfast accent.
I'm giving you a Northern Irish accent. So, well, to be fair, if it's going to cost you more to buy it than you would get from me as the patron, that's unfair, so I'll pay for it. So that was very nice of him.
Good on you. Mysterious man from Belfast.
Yeah, it's from Belfast. So that's August Underground Mordom, which I haven't taken notes for yet because there's only so much horror I can inflict on her for a while. Although, 2 Mile Tower on Twitter, Petya, who plays the Hug Minion, is going to be visiting like in a week.
Next Saturday.
She'll be here for like 3-4 days, so
she's bringing me candy corn. I need candy corn in my life. I don't have it here.
She doesn't know yet that I'm going to make her watch all sorts of interesting shit that I can't make her watch.
Yes, you do. You said so when we saw her in Leicester a few weeks ago. You even said it. We talked about it at dinner.
No one tweet this at her.
Oh.
But yeah.
You guys totally had a conversation about this.
I'll probably make her watch Mordom. But,
I'll be working. I'm starting uni next week.
The third most expensive thing to buy.
Your things are fogging up.
Yep. The third most expensive one that I had to buy was Gender Flater. That cost like £35.
Yeah, but again, you're supporting like independent LGBT cinema.
I really want to do a review of Begotten, but DVD copies that go from like $250 to $500.
Christ, how good is this movie? Alright, how bad is this movie?
Begotten is a storyless art house film by the director of Shadow the Vampire. There's copies of it on YouTube. I know it's on YouTube.
Storyless art house film. Could you not just like? Why is it good then? Why is it important? Like, why do you care?
I will do it because it's just random freaky imagery.
So it's like Quinscotsy, but without HD.
No.
What film that we saw that was in like 4K or whatever?
Samsara.
Yeah, that was good.
No, it's got much worse visuals.
Because it was like not as crazy. Like sometimes it'd be like, oh, a sunrise. Oh, a child. Oh, look, a frog.
Samsara's awesome.
Yeah, it's not as
bad soundtrack though.
Quinscotsy.
Anyway, Begotten. I know it's on YouTube. I want a DVD copy. I'd rather have the actual copy of the film I'm reviewing. So that's why I have not yet reviewed Begotten. So if anyone actually owns a copy, on a proper copy on disc,
it's like The Room of storyless art house.
Please.
I guess. Hey, you know what I was just thinking? Just the second while you were talking. Sorry about that. So you know when The Disaster Artist comes out in the UK, we have to go take my friend Laura to see it with us for the Backseat Critique, because she was the one. So this classmate of mine who actually is also doing a PhD, so it's cool. But in last year, it says to me, "Hey, you like movies, right? You're always talking about watching crazy movies." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Have you ever heard of this movie? It's really, really bad. It's called The Room." And I was like, "Aw." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "You don't know what my wife does for a living, do you?"
Sweet summer child.
Yeah. So I think we should take Laura with us.
Ah, that'll be fine. And, you know...
She doesn't know this yet.
Next time they're over, I want to make them watch crazy shit. There's a copy of Who Killed Captain Alex with their name on it.
There's this guy that just screams the trailer and just that's like, "Oh, no killing, Uganda!"
Is the Video Joker. They're filmed, I don't know if this is a official thing in Nigerian cinema. Try Ugandan cinema.
Ooh, fighting words there.
Yeah. But that film, it has the Video Joker who basically riffs the film for you, and you can't watch it without him.
It's like your own built-in MST3K.
Yeah.
Just without Patton Oswalt.
Well, there's a lot of MST3K for that.
Yeah, I know. The new one. I was thinking I have to finish watching the new one because now I'm busy and I don't have time to do anything.
Anyway, we saw Up, and
we were gonna like try to make a Pixar joke, but it just all fell apart. Really, it just.
Thank you for the unique experience, Mr. Patron.
Apparently, they wanted to see my reaction. You said.
I believe this is the one that wanted to see your reaction.
I don't understand what reaction you're looking for. Like I feel kind of bad because like if you're sitting home being like, "Oh, will she say it's wonderful? Oh no, will she drop it?" But I'm like, it's porn in unhygienic places. Like, how did everyone involved not end up scratching everywhere for like months after that? Like, it's not even, you've gone beyond crabs. You're into like crayfish territory, okay? And that's something you really can't be the gynecologist. Can you even imagine? There's a problem here. And it goes back in.
It's not just crayfish, it's macra. Ooh, Doctor Who.
The reason she said that was, back in the day, my wee cousin, he's out of uni now, but he was really, really into Pokemon. And so I was like, well, you know what, I'll take you and your sister to go see a Pokemon movie. And because his sister's a few years older than her, and I'm like, just want to come along, I'll get you McDonald's. And she's like, yeah, no, Pokemon's cool. And so there's a panning shot of a crowd scene of Pokemon trainers, and you can hear snatches of ambient conversation, as you would. And then, you know, as it's panning out, you hear a female trainer go, "Oh, well, you know about her." "Oh, what?" "Well, she has crabbies." And all the adults in the thing, but nobody could laugh because all the little kids would be like, "What? What's funny? I don't get it. What? What? What's fun? What happened?" She has crabbies. It's true what we've heard about Brock then.
Ooh.
But anyway, we watched a porno.
What? He raped a girl on university campus?
See. Ooh, yeah, that's even better. See,
His onyx was too powerful for him to restrain, apparently.
It was his geoduck.
These jokes would be far better if I sat down for hours and actually scripted them.
Remembered all the Pokemon. See, it's really hedgy because I was like, don't tweet that we're watching porn because, so, my Steven Universe panel at Alcon, I really was really pleased with how it came out, and Film Brain took really great HD footage, so I put it up kind of as a lecture. It's leading into something else, big announcement about that tomorrow. And so I said
by the time you guys see it, patrons will see this tonight. Everyone else will see this tomorrow. So it's if you're seeing this, if you're not a patron and you're seeing this, or if you are a patron and you're seeing this after it's gone live, go over to Omega's thing. She's got a really interesting announcement. Cool. Or you could actually mention it now, but if you wanted to, because actually this will be tomorrow. It'll be live already.
No, wait, what? So it's going up for patrons tonight?
Yes.
Okay,
which means that tomorrow night it will be going, so yours.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, what's the crack, because I'm waiting for Creature to get me back the image.
Okay, so you go over to Omega's thing and hopefully
really
there's something
engaging,
interesting.
should we tell them?
Hopefully there's something interesting there.
Right, but so I was like, here, I was seeing my supervisor today, and I was like, here, you know, watch this, and I need some points on, like, how to be a better lecturer and stuff. And he's like, oh, is it on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah. So he goes to YouTube, and I was like, search the Omega Geek. And so my channel comes up, but then the first result is the crossover we did for 13th Child. Fine, whatever. Second one that comes up is our crossover for the Taint, or like the censored version. But the problem is that the title card is half us sitting on the hotel bed in Belfast where we first met, and half Priapus, the god of erections. And I'm really hoping he says to just ignore all the Diamond Hagen stuff. That's my wife. So he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll watch it and I'll give you a full critique. And I'm like, the other stuff on the channel, it's just stop making that face. It's just like, our podcast and some other, stuff. But like, now I'm really worried that somehow he's going to see the stuff that we do on the dirty site on the Diamond Hagen channel and have a different opinion of me.
What? You watch films with me.
It was a pornography. There was nothing psychologically redeeming about it.
I'm sure you could say a lot psychologically about this film.
But I do children's media.
Well, not as a children's.
This is how you create children's. This is not how you teach them.
I think that should be just about. Not a good film. Interesting.
You're now getting both a backseat critique and an eventual episode out of it. Patron.
I'm gonna review it, but if you're a fan of random shit with dicks or fake dicks with lots of like nudity, you could do worse than this, but it'd be pretty hard. But it's got Hitler being fucked in the ass.
Yeah. We hope it was all you dreamed of and more, Patron. So.